Hello everybody and welcome. Sunday Hoops. The round is not done, but the two top teams in the league get the job done just. Both had to withstand late finishes and both of them had to, well, to be honest, win on the back of a couple of missed three balls. I'm Cam Luke, Liam Santamaria, Damon Lowery. This is what the NBL does each and every week, and that's what the two best teams in the league do. They win. Liam, hello to you.
Hello, mate. Yeah, got the job done. Both those teams. The Cairns one, really impressive on the road against New Zealand when the Breakers are coming back. And the Kings against the arch rivals, man, they played a get-out-of-jail-free card in that one.
I'm never going to be feeling good about it when we lose to the Kings. That is, I mean, when the Hawks lose to the Kings. But a little bit flat after that one because it was there for the taking and just, that's how it goes.
It's interesting, the last, and you made a great point of it, in particular early on the commentary team, about how they've been rolling the Kings and they've been belting teams. I know the average changes a bit when you're winning a game by 50, but they have been dominant. That fourth quarter again today, now it hasn't been a concern for a month or so, a little bit more, of course, that Jack Jumpers loss they had probably 6 weeks ago, but there was shades of it again today, their inability to close out the Hawks when they looked to be in cruise mode.
Yeah, I think it might have just been an element of them thinking, we're going to win this. You know, we're not going to lose this game. I don't think any of us ever felt like the Hawks were actually going to win. I don't think anyone...
Damon and Lockie Dent both thought the Hawks were going to get the job done.
They were the two guys. And so maybe a little complacency there from the Kings. Well, Walton Jr. in that fourth quarter, when the big plays needed to be made, he got them done and they got over the line.
You've spoken about this though, right? You're not the only one, but Walton Jr.'s ability to play with the guy who's probably going to be the MVP in Xavier Cooks, he's probably the MVP of the team, funnily enough, because he has to do what he has to do when he has to do it. We talk about that big scoring outpoint, you know, when they lost Xavier Cooks in Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and again today. He just stands up and gets it done when really the pressure's on him.
This dude is so exquisite as a point guard. I'm from Michigan. I've seen this guy play college basketball. He's from Detroit. This dude just knows how to finish around the basket. His pick and roll play, Liam, is exquisite. Passing out of either hand. He's got a good herky-jerky change of direction. And he just got that calm presence about him. He doesn't rattle. He went to the free throw line late. He missed the one, but he made the other three. He gets to the rack whenever he wants to. You can't stay in front of the guy. He just pure class.
Those couple of blow-bys in the fourth in particular were massive. And the other thing is they've just got so many threats around him that make it so tough because Suarez pick and pop, you got to be worried about that. Xavier Cook's short roll off those pick and roll actions as well. And then you can't help too much off the weak side when you got guys like Dejan Vasiljevic there. So that's what makes this Kings team so tough.
Depth as well. You know, we've had different guys stand up in the last 2 years, really, and be able to come off the bench and put their hand up and play really well. Galloway, it was his turn today. We've seen Quatnoy do it. We've seen Aaron Bruce do it. Sean Bruce do it. Shout out to his big brother, Aaron. But Sean Bruce do it a number of times in the last couple of seasons as well. Their depth is a huge reason as to why they are where they are.
This team is not going to shoot themselves in the foot. From 1 to 10, they played the right way. That Kings brand of basketball, they're going to defend hard. They're going to get out in transition. They don't take bad shots. It's rare when they take a bad shot. They poise. So they got it all ticking on the offensive end and the defensive end. Only team I see, well, maybe two teams, but mostly Cairns, Taipans. They will outshoot them, and they defend. And Cairns don't get the credit they deserve on the defensive end.
Well, let's do it now. Let's give them credit because they went to New Zealand. This is a really big. You've spoken about an NBL overtime about these 2-win games. When you're playing teams right in the same level, you're trying to get top 2 or you're trying to stay in the play-in or out and all the rest of it. It means a lot to finish top 2. Cairns had to go there. It was a brilliant contest. Two teams, hammer and tong, but the Taipans, again, without Pinder, their MVP, go on the road, go international and get the dub.
That was a massive result in the context of this season for that reason. You want to finish top 2. And we've talked about the 4 games in a row that they won without Keanu Pinder. But to go over to New Zealand, that team that's knocking on your door to take your spot in that top 2 and beat them without the big fella in the lineup, absolutely outstanding.
The Taipans play, again, like the Kings, they have their brand. And now without Pinder, what happens is, even though Wardenberg is 6'9", and DJ Hogue is 6'9", they don't play like big dudes. They don't clog the paint. It's spread out. You're almost playing 5-out shell drill type basketball, and you can't stay in front of anybody. They got mismatches all the time, it seems like. And then when Bull Quad is making shots, I mean...
All right, so we know where Pinder, he had a couple of game time decisions this weekend and he couldn't quite get up. Does it They are playing maybe their best they've played all year without their best player. It's a weird concept.
Yeah.
Does it at all stall their momentum when he comes back in and kind of gets re-injected? Because he's going to miss the most important momentum-swinging part of their year.
I don't think it will, but that's the challenge because there is the threat that it could do that. We do see that happen from time to time. I don't think it will with this group. They're so harmonious and Adam Ford's got such a great environment happening within that group, but they're going to have to go through a process of bringing him back in the mix, and it does change a bit about how they play.
I'd roll the dice. I'll take that chance.
Yeah, true.
He comes back, he's starting straight away. I'm going back to him on the block.
Yeah.
It's like nothing ever happened. Everybody would just fit in around him like they have been doing. And what they've done now is they got more of a belief, more of an inner belief that they can win no matter what with whoever.
What it has done, though, like it or lump it, it has impacted on his MVP candidacy. There's no doubt about it.
But he can't win it now.
You can't win it because they've proven how much that they can get done without him. Big shout out, though, to Gia McCall. Man, he played well today. He's been playing terrific. He's going to have some wild players from time to time, but he makes winning plays. They come from behind in the last moments to steal it away against Adelaide the other night. And then we've seen an expanded offensive output from him in recent times, but at the defensive end, he's a best defensive player candidate. And in big moments, he just continues to come up with big plays.
A big reason why they re-signed him so late last season, looking towards this type of form when they got him for a full season. Secondly, his energy is contagious, not just for the team, but for the Cairns Convention Centre. So the fact is, if they finish top 2 and they get home semi-final advantage, home court, it's a huge, huge plus. I think they'll finish top 2 now. I think today's a big one for it. And I think the fact is that McCall doesn't just lead the crew on court, but the joint that's sold out every single time they roll through the doors now, I think it's a huge part of it. So big Sunday NBL hoops. Hashtag NBL23 to get involved via all our socials. We'll be back with plenty more on the other side from the boys' Sports Bet.
Welcome to At The Line. My name is Simon Legg. We're here to talk about the NBA. And as I look to my left, Josh Jenkins, I didn't expect you to be back after what Felix said about you last week.
I'm back, Mr. I Want to Get Famous is too good for the show now. So looks like it's my seat again.
Wow. We'll talk about that later because there is some tension between the two of you. But we're talking about the association. There's plenty going on as always. And we want to highlight some of the big news items. And one of the biggest is Kevin Durant, part of the hottest team in the NBA. He's hurt his knee. He's going to be out a month.
Brooklyn just can't get out of their own way. And injuries happen, but they finally start to get there together. And Durant hurts his knee, might miss up to a month. Who knows? Those MCLs can be niggly. They can just take a long time to heal. So it's going to be troublesome for the Nets because, as you said, they got hot. Now they have to suffer this. They lose probably the best player in the NBA. Kyrie Irving's going to have to step up.
I've never worked hard enough to do an MCL, so I wouldn't know, but I assume it would hurt. Now, in a sliding doors moment, one superstar leaves us for a month, the other one's come back after a month or so. Steph Curry's back.
Yes.
And obviously that's great news for the Warriors, who you picked to win the title.
I did. 24 points in his first game back, but he, Thompson and Wiggins went 23 of 62. They need to shoot the ball better than that. They probably, to win it all, and they probably can't, but to win it all, they need to shoot the ball at an incredible clip. We know they can, but will they?
Now, moving on to Monday's games, because we're also here to talk about that. We've got the Suns and the Grizzlies, two of the best in the West, but the Suns are hurting at the moment when it comes to injuries.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of bodies. Devin Booker's not there. Chris Paul's been in and out of the lineup. So check the lineups for Phoenix before you get involved, but we've definitely got a same-game multi here.
Excited for this.
I think they can keep it close enough, Phoenix. So let's take Memphis 1-10. Let's take Ja Morant, one of the most, if not the most exciting players to watch in the whole league, to get 30. And Chris Paul over 8 assists. Again, check whether he's playing and check the rest of the guys in the Suns lineup. But if that is all happening, $10 looks beautiful.
Like that. And now we want to talk about the Pelicans and the Cavs, and specifically your response to Felix von Hoff, because a lot of the negativity he threw at you was based upon Donovan Mitchell, who's playing in this clash. So here's your chance to respond.
It was. Spider is, I'll deal with Felix in a minute, but Spider is a great player. Great player. Scored 70 the other day. Fantastic. But my knock has been he can't be the best player on a championship winning team. And I stand by that. Until he does it, I'm right. So,
you're going to respond to Felix?
Well, I just want to... Look, I've had enough of Felix. I'm dead set. I'm dead set done with the man trying to get famous. I want to have a look at this.
That says Felix. He's in the control room.
The less I see of Felix, the better. Let's take the Cavs to win. Mitchell, 35 plus. He's capable. He's had 71 and 46, so let's take that, 375.
We certainly need to enter mediation for Josh and Felix, but if you want to follow Josh's selections in, please make sure you do so responsibly.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
And these are the highlights, all thanks to NBL Chains, because it has been a huge year of entertainment, boys and girls, right around the nation. The good things is, bang, Xavier Cooks. Chains is the officially licensed digital collectibles of the NBL. It's simple. For a chance for fans to collect and trade their favourite NBL players and their moments in a unique and exciting way. Have a look at some of these as well, of course, the JJs. Bang, they go nuts down there. Now, the NBL Chains crew. Have a little guess. What do you reckon they voted as their number one play?
Cooks over Humphrey.
Oh,
The windmill. Xavier Cook.
swing it. Have a look at this. I would have gone Cooks as well, but his teammate said, I'll one-up you. Little old-school Larry Bird from Geordie Hunter. Bang. Have a look at him. Oh, just like I practiced, says the big man. That was unreal. And, of course, they voted on it. Geordie Hunter, bang. So one lucky Discord member as well will receive a jersey from their favourite NBL team just by voting. So make sure you do get involved. If you want to get in the action, join the NBL Chains community, you head over to chainsbasketball.com.au. There you go. Geordie Hunter. Yeah,
Geordie Hunter.
You see windmills every week. You don't
like
see Geordie Hunter rolling that type of stuff out. Hey, something we don't see every week, although we have seen it twice this year, is the open air game. Of course, it was a huge one. It was great, but the game last night, not only was it a great spectacle, but the Perth Wildcats are starting to roll a little bit. They were brilliant, and that first half was their best basketball we've probably seen them play, to be fair, in a couple of seasons.
Big game against arch rivals, double point game. That's a team also trying to take your spot in the top six, and they absolutely belted them. Damon, under the open air, which is a beautiful thing for the Perth fans to enjoy. 34 points. They poured on in that first quarter. The Webster brothers, Brady Manick, absolutely en fuego. Everything that they brought him in to be.
Yeah.
And they wiped him off the floor in that first quarter.
They popped the top on the roof. The crowd is up and about. The beautiful thing this is now, we are watching a brand new Perth Wildcats. You know that Perth Wildcats team, that whole grit and grind, kind of bully ball? Over. We now have flamboyant, prolific bucket getters. So the old names that we used to see quite a bit of, the Mitch Nortons, the Todd Blanchfields, the Jesse Wagstaffs, fellas, you guys are now role players. More role than you ever were before, because not only is it Cotton time, Liam, it's Webster time. Which Webster? Any Webster, pick a Webster. It don't matter. And Brady is balling, and Tayshawn is balling. And then you bring an LT in off the bench. I'm telling you, this is a new era for Perth. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, we spoke about this on NBL Overtime when they signed Ty Webster, and it didn't really feel the need. John really spoke about it, and he said, you just don't have a guy like this available to you and say no. And we spoke about it. It's just not about defence for the Perth Wildcats now. They haven't quite been able to fix all their issues. Yeah. But Brady Manick has become a lot more intense and physical in the last month. And all of a sudden they're like, we're just going to shoot you out of the gym. And that's what that first half was last night. Now, will it work? Huge question marks, but right now that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I don't think that it's completely that. It's just we're not playing any defence or bothering with rebound. In fact, they've improved in that regard. Brady Manick to Sean Thomas are playing harder and better in those areas of the game.
But that might have been on the back of the fact that they both hold on to their jobs. But legitimately, because there was the question mark, and Thomas's last month has been really good, and Brady Manick's last 3 weeks has been good, and all of a sudden, JR's coming out saying, well, you know what, we're going with Ty Webster, and they're like, well, hang on, I ain't getting sacked. I'm getting paid, a bit more comfortable. Brady Manick in his first year. Next thing you know, they're going back to the playoffs.
But credit to Johnny, really.
Yeah.
He kept his belief in Tayshaun and Brady even when all you critics was going at him, and me too.
Yeah.
But Johnny kept faith in them. He didn't throw him under the bus not once, and he had multiple opportunities to do so. So these guys are now rewarding his faith.
Now, we're going to get out of here. The round is not done. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix play Brisbane. This is kind of a gimme. Who wins?
Phoenix have to win. Massive game for the Phoenix. Got to get it done.
Agree?
I'm not so sure.
I'm
not so sure. They showed life, Brisbane.
Oh, here we go. We're getting out of here. Wherever you might be, enjoy your Sunday night. Don't miss it tomorrow. Phoenix hosting the Bullets.